The numbers are in, and there were over 11 million people who protested in the No Kings protest yesterday. And also, where's my future husband at? Is he here? Ted, is that you? Kevin, I'm doing that Marilyn Monroe skit. Kevin, can you come help? Today on MontanaDanna, I go to my local No Kings protest, make some friends with little baby Proud Boys, and play a little dress up. Give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more lifestyle shenanigans. Good morning, my beautiful and lovely friends. So today is June 14th. It's the president's birthday, it's Flag Day, and it's also No Kings protest in America and all around the world, actually. So today I'm working on a few ways to show my support for our Constitution, for our country, standing up for our freedoms and our rights, and standing up against a wannabe dictator. Now, a lot of you have said you don't like my political content, so maybe don't watch this video. But today I'm trying to figure out ways to take action for our country, for our rights, and there is a big protest happening, and I'm going to my local one later today. But I also want to figure out how to use my talents and abilities to protest, and I want to encourage you to do the same. If you are a writer, write about what's going on. If you're an artist, make a painting. Create a really pretty sign to bring to one of the protests. There's so many ways to protest. Today I'm doing two things besides protesting. I am writing a No Kings anthem song. I'm a songwriter and I absolutely love writing songs. And I got inspired this morning, which is why my voice is hoarse. So I'll show you the song in a minute, but first I have a little bit of filming to do. I'm also protesting by using my comedy. So using my special talents and abilities, which are comedy and music, and protesting in that way. Using those things to share the message besides just the peaceful protests and talking about it online. So I'm actually about to put on a couple wigs and film some little comedic skits. And I'm just gonna kind of take you through my day of how I'm choosing to protest and stand up for our country. And maybe it'll give you some ideas. I personally have been doing a lot of doom scrolling and I'm kind of knowing what's going on, but I'm not really doing anything about it. So it feels really good today to write a song and do a little comedic sketch and to protest. So let's get this day started. I'm not filming a new episode of Influencer the Musical. I have no idea what you're talking about. I've been working on this for 3 months. I just opened the file that I was editing a couple months ago, and there's 6 hours of footage to go through. Somebody please send help. Also, today is Mr. President's birthday, so I am doing a little parody of Marilyn Monroe in a few. So yes, gotta go get set up for that. So I'm trying to recreate this video. Happy birthday to you. And I wanted to sing a little happy birthday song to Mr. President myself. And I want to make it look as close to this as possible. So I need a black backdrop, which I do not have, but then I walked in the other room and saw my yoga mat in the corner. So we're gonna try and put that up on the wall somehow. Yeah. Do we, should we, is this what, yep, okay. I found my glitteriest, sparkliest outfit, and it's pink, which is not correct, but I'm gonna make this black and white, so I don't know if it'll matter. All right, so I tried it, and then I left the room, and then it fell down, but we will try again. Hey, Kevin, can you go hang up the backdrop? Hey, Kev, I need a little help in here. And then I wanna like blow out a candle for the last shot, so I have candles in here. I've got extra lipstick in case I need to reapply. It's hot out, so my camera always gets foggy, so I have that in here to wipe it off. We've got Mr. Ring Light, we've got Mr. Microphone. Now I just need to get this guy hung back up. Fun. Hey, Kevin! Kevin! I'm doing that Marilyn Monroe skit. Kevin, can you come help? My yoga mat keeps falling down. Kevin! I could really use an extra hand in here, thanks. Okay, so that only fell down 6 times while filming. We have an outfit on the floor, we have duct tape. I don't know, there's a lighter and some candles over there somewhere, but so that's what's left over from filming the Marilyn bit. We're just gonna close our eyes and walk away. Nothing to see in here. I am heading down to the No Kings protest here in St. George. It's a beautiful day. Look how pretty this is. So well kept. I need to know what those are. Like, how gorgeous are these flowers? How gorgeous is that building? So pretty. So Saturday, June 14th, it is the 250th anniversary of the Army, which is worth celebrating. There's also a big No Kings protest all around the country, and I'm not big into making signs and doing all that, but I want to show up and just be a body on the scene. Peaceful protest is the best way to stand up to authoritarianism and to dictatorship. So I'm here, and I'm pretty antisocial at these events. Usually I just kind of observe and, you know, capture the moment, take video, but I'm gonna try and meet some people because I feel like these are people that would align with my morals and values and view on the world. And isn't that what we all want? So I'm showing up. And also, if you cannot make it to the protests and you're not okay with what's happening in our country today, you don't have to make a sign. You don't have to show up to the No Kings protests. But if you're a writer, write about it. If you're a singer, sing about it. If you're a painter, paint some sort of artwork that is fitting for the moment. We need everybody's voice and unique voices to stand up and use your beautiful creative talents and abilities that are unique to you. Use your unique voice to take a stand. We need everybody participating. I never in a million years thought I would go to a protest ever. I paid enough attention to politics but didn't really get involved or voice my opinion one way or the other, but this is different. This isn't left versus right, red versus blue, conservative versus liberal. This is our country under attack. I'm showing up today to stand up for all of our rights here in America. And also, where's my future husband at? Is he here? Ted, is that you? But anyway, so another way I protested today was by making a silly song this morning. I did a little Marilyn Monroe impression, and Kevin was absolutely no help at all, to be perfectly honest.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Mr. Predatory, Putin-loving, Nazi-hugging, white supremacist, pardoning, 34 felon, sex offender, Epstein, bestie, fake Christian, grifting, unconstitutional, lying, cheating, stealing, narcissist, transphobic, conman, sociopath, insurrectionist, taco dick, traitor, president. Happy birthday to you.
I just wanted to wish Mr. President a happy birthday. All right, we'll get to the protest in a minute, but let's go back to earlier in the day when I just posted the Marilyn Monroe video, and I got a lot of love on that video. Thank you guys so much for all the love. If you want to pop over to Instagram or Facebook or my YouTube shorts and give it a like if you do like my way of protesting. Some people don't like my way of protesting, and they do like Donald Trump, so they feel very defensive. And I've already got a couple comments on Facebook saying, wow, you're so hateful. This just shows how hateful you are. And my response was, we call Hitler a war criminal. We call Charles Manson a cult leader. We call Jeffrey Dahmer a serial killer. Not because we're being hateful, but it's because it's what they are. And we call Donald Trump
a predatory, Putin-loving, Nazi-hugging, white supremacist, pardoning, 34 felon, sex offender, Epstein bestie, fake Christian, grifting, unconstitutional, lying, cheating, stealing, narcissist, transphobic, conman, sociopath, insurrectionist, taco, dictator,
president. Not because we're hateful, but because that's what he is. So I'm gonna go quickly through this list and show you the facts behind it. Because if this seems like I'm just calling someone names, maybe you're not aware of the facts behind it. And I've got a lot of comments saying, stop watching mainstream media. I don't watch CNN. I just don't. I listen to words that come out of Donald Trump's mouth, and I check in with my conscience. I use my brains, and I critically analyze what he's saying to determine what kind of human he is. I say Donald Trump is predatory because he has said this on The Howard Stern Show.
A former beauty queen says Donald Trump walked into the dressing room at the Miss USA pageant to the shock of the barely clothed contestants.
He just came strolling right in. There was no second to put a robe on or any sort of clothing or anything. Some girls were topless, other girls were naked.
Her story sure sounds like the one Trump bragged about on Howard Stern's radio show in 2005.
And I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant, and therefore I'm inspecting it. You know, I'm inspecting. I want to make sure that everything is good.
You're there.
Yeah, is everyone okay? You know, they're standing there with no clothes. Is everybody okay? And you see these incredible-looking women, and so I sort of get away with things like that.
Even more troubling, Trump also allegedly walked into the dressing room at the Miss Teen USA contest in 1997. Mariah Bellato, who was Miss Vermont Teen USA, says Trump told the startled contestants, "Don't worry, ladies, I've seen it all before."
Every accusation is an admission with this administration. They're saying that women are not safe in women's locker rooms because of transgender people, when Donald Trump himself has admitted to walking in on beauty pageants while they're getting changed.
Trump also allegedly walked into the dressing room at the Miss Teen USA contest.
And speaking of predatory, this is how he talks about his daughters.
I've said that if Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her. You know?
Stop it! Oh, it's so weird.
By the way, your daughter,
She's beautiful.
can I say this? A piece of ass.
Yeah.
She looks more voluptuous than ever.
She's actually always been very voluptuous.
It's
She's
unbelievable.
tall. She's almost 6 feet tall.
What's the favorite thing you have in common with your father?
Either real estate or golf.
Donald, with your daughter?
Well, I was going to say sex, but I can't relate that. She's got Marla's legs. We don't know whether or not she's got this part yet, but time will tell.
His underage daughters. We call him Putin lovin' because he is aligned with Putin and not our allies in Ukraine. Not only that, he called the president of Ukraine a dictator.
A dictator without elections. Zelensky better move fast or he's not going to have a country left. Gotta move fast.
But refused to call Putin a dictator.
If you called Zelensky a dictator, would you use the same words regarding Putin?
I don't use those words lightly. I think that we're going to see how it all works out. Let's see what happens. I think we have a chance of a really good settlement.
And here's Trump's latest stunt advocating for dictator Putin of Russia.
It used to be the G8 because Russia was in it, and now Russia's not in it. Now, I love our country. I have been Russia's worst nightmare. If Hillary got in, I think Putin is probably going, man, I wish Hillary won, because you see what I do. But with that being said, Russia should be in this meeting. Why are we having a meeting without Russia being in the meeting?
Maybe because he's a war criminal, Donald. Nazi huggin'. You remember how Elon did the 2 Nazi salutes? And then appeared at an AfD rally in Germany.
Fight for a great future for Germany.
AfD is a far-right-wing political organization that is closely linked to neo-Nazi ideals. Not only did Elon Musk fund Donald Trump's presidency, but in return, Donald Trump gave Elon Musk power to fire the attorneys generals that were holding him accountable for not following the law with his companies. We'll continue our facts about Donald Trump in a bit, but let's go over to the protest. Wow, this is way more people than last time. Way more people than last time. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, St. George. That's so cute. I might have to steal that one next time. Thank you. No kings, 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 no kings. There are so many more people here than the last one.
Let's let them here alone.
No fascist USA! No fascist USA!
It's upside down, but... Or is it upside down on purpose? Because the U.S. is under distress. I think that might be what it is. I don't know. Should we tell them? Sex offender. George Soros did not pay us to say that. It's because that's what he is. A judge and jury found him guilty of sexually offending a woman. CNN didn't tell me to say that. The deep dark state did not pay me to say that. The court records say that. 9 of our peers looked at the evidence and decided that Donald Trump was guilty of E. Jean Carroll. After he was found guilty of this, he went out in public and denied it. And then she sued him, and a federal judge upheld the verdict and awarded more than $83 million to E. Jean Carroll in the defamation case against Donald Trump. I'm not calling him a sex offender because I'm a hateful person. I'm calling him a sex offender because that's what he is. Okay, so this is the song I've been writing, a little anthem for No Kings. I got really inspired this morning, so check it out. Yeah, we're bowing to no kings. Yeah, we're out here rising up together and showing that we're bowing to no kings. Yeah, we're bowing to no kings. Yeah, we're out here rising up together and showing. I'm trying to write a No Kings anthem. Whoo! I'm losing my voice. We call him unconstitutional because his behaviors go against our Constitution. This is literally what he said yesterday.
And we're going to be celebrating big on Saturday. We're going to have a lot of, and if there's any protester that wants to come out, they will be met with very big force. By the way, for those people that want to protest, they're going to be met with very big force. And I haven't even heard about a protest, but, you know, this is people that hate our country. But they will be met with very heavy force. Trying to intimidate protesters from exercising their First Amendment right is dictator behavior. Bringing in armed forces to Los Angeles, where the governor and head of LAPD said they had the situation under control. That is dictator behavior. We have a right to protest in the United States. We also have free press. Yet this is what he was saying about CNN.
I believe that CNN and MSDNC, who literally write 97.6% bad about me, are political arms of the Democrat Party. And in my opinion, they're really corrupt and they're illegal. What they do is illegal.
Saying CNN is illegal is a direct violation of our First Amendment rights. That is why we call him unconstitutional. He wants to intimidate us out of protesting, and that is exactly why I'm gonna go show up later today. I'm loving the energy. I'm loving the signs. Yes. It feels so good just to be around people who get it. It really does. It really, really does. So a bunch of kids showed up with Trump flags and were driving by revving their engines and such. Oh my God, look at these cute little insurrectionists in the making. Aww. Aww. USA! 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 I didn't go across the street and find a new friend with a gigantic flag so we could hold it in front of these little baby Proud Boys. I have no idea what you're talking about. We're blocking the baby Proud Boys over here. Hey, hey! Ho, ho! Donald Trump has got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! Donald Trump has got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! You guys are so cute, though. You're so cute. Oh my God, you're so cute. Baby Proud Boys. So sad. Oh, those baby Proud Boys were so cute. Oh my God, they're so cute. I called Donald Trump white supremacist pardoning.
What does it mean to be a Proud Boy?
We're the villains for the left. We're the heroes of the right.
Jailed for 22 years for trying to destroy democracy.
We won, we won.
But thanks to Donald Trump,
full pardon,
Enrique Tarrio is free. On his first day in office, he freed the rioters who stormed the Capitol.
So this is January 6th. These are the hostages.
Before January the 6th, the Proud Boys were best known for clashes with Antifa and other left-wing groups. during the ugly civil unrest of the first Trump presidency.
Here is just a small piece of the government's motion seeking the detention of Enrique Tarrio. It opens as follows. The United States moves to detain Enrique Tarrio pending trial. A grand jury returned an indictment charging Tarrio with conspiracy to obstruct justice by orchestrating a plot to corruptly obstruct, influence, and impede the certification of the Electoral College vote resulting from the 2020 presidential election, including an attack on the United States Capitol on January 6, 2021. And then if we move on to page 4 of the motion, here's what the prosecution says. On December 20th, 2020, the day after plans were announced for a wild protest in D.C. on January 6th, Tarrio created an encrypted messaging group for use by MOSD leaders. MOSD stands for Ministry of Self-Defense. Cute little nickname Tarrio gave for a subgroup of the Proud Boys. That is an obvious reference to Donald Trump's tweet of December 19th, come to D.C. on January 6th, will be wild. So yes, Donald Trump set the date for the Capitol attack.
This is not Donald Trump's only link to the white supremacist party called the Proud Boys, who planned to attack our Capitol on January 6th. He also used their catchphrase on live television.
For the Proud Boys, their call to arms came in September 2020, when Donald Trump mentioned them by name in the first presidential debate with Joe Biden.
Proud Boys, stand back and stand by.
Stand back and stand by. What impact did that have on your group?
When he said that, it changed my life like this. That moment, it changed everything.
4 months later, the Proud Boys went into battle.
Not Donald Trump emboldening white supremacist parties. He would never. And then pardoning them after they brought weapons to, broke windows in, and attacked our Capitol, chanting, "Hang Mike Pence." The violence included beating officers within an inch of their life.
Suddenly, he's grabbed in a headlock and dragged down the steps into the crowd, where he's beaten and repeatedly tasered into unconsciousness.
Really, the last, independent recollection I have is yelling out that I had kids. After that, it just kind of becomes a blur.
There were several white supremacist groups who attacked our Capitol on January 6th, the Proud Boys, the Oath Keepers, Patriot Front. He pardoned several of these people. Enrique Tarrio, who had a 22-year sentence because he was found to be conducting a coup on our Capitol. So he was arrested the day before January 6th. If he was not, the coup attempt might have been successful. Now this man is out and free.
Enrique boldly claims his group has 35,000 members in the US and 10,000 overseas.
These are the people that Donald Trump has pardoned. Let that sink in.
Enrique Tarrio says the stage was set for January 6 long before his boys breached the first barricade on Capitol Hill.
And by doing this, Donald Trump has emboldened white supremacist groups in America, has made them to believe that they have power and authority and are in the right. And if you're not disgusted by that, you are un-American. Of Red State, small town St. George, for showing up today. There were a couple agitators. This truck kept driving by. And look at his license plate. I mean, he totally got that because he loves Top Gun, but isn't it kind of fitting for the present ICE situation in America? Well, there's one good thing about the people protesting the protests. There was a guy driving by with his middle finger out to everybody on his motorcycle. That means we have freedom of speech. And isn't that what we're here for today? To protect that. To protect that guy's right to come flip us all off. That's why we're here. Just like I have a right to make fun of the little baby Proud Boys. That's why we're here, to protect their right to show up with a Trump flag and our right to oppose that. Donald Trump is a 34-time felon. A lot of people have been gaslit and lied into believing that these charges have been dropped, which they have not. He was found guilty of 34 felonies he was accused of, and he got what's called an unconditional discharge, which means he still has the 34 felonies on his record. He's still found guilty. He just did not have to serve time for these felonies.
Donald Trump, former president of the United States, future president of the United States, and now, officially and for all time, convicted felon. Judge Juan Merchan sentenced Donald Trump today on his 34 felony guilty verdicts.
After careful analysis, in obedience to governing mandates, and pursuant to the rule of law, this court has determined that the only lawful sentence that permits entry of a judgment of conviction without encroaching upon the highest office in the land is an unconditional discharge.
The president-elect received an unconditional discharge of his sentence, which spares him jail time, but formalizes his status as a felon.
So he got the unconditional discharge, which means he is the first and only felon to be in the White House. This is not CNN telling me this. This is the court records. Court records. That is the source. Donald Trump a fake Christian. There was nothing Christian about this man's actions. He can't even quote a Bible verse.
You mentioned the Bible. You've been talking about how it's your favorite book, and you said, I think last night in Iowa, some people are surprised that you say that. I'm wondering what one or two of your most favorite Bible verses are and why.
I wouldn't want to get into it because to me that's very personal. You know, when I talk about the Bible, it's very personal, so I don't want to get into verses. I don't want to get into...
There's no verse that means a lot to you that you think about or cite?
The Bible means a lot to me, but I don't want to get into specifics.
Even to cite a verse that you like?
No, I don't want to do that.
You're an Old Testament guy or a New Testament guy?
Probably equal. I think it's just an incredible... The whole Bible is an incredible... I joke very much so. They always hold up the Art of the Deal. I say my second favorite book of all time. But I just think the Bible is just something very special.
He does surround himself with Christian nationalists, though. Remember that whole separation of church and state thing? Yeah, the people he's surrounded by don't want separation of church and state. And then he posts pictures like this.
This is the most culty shit I've ever seen, posted by the White House. Now, would I have a problem with Donald Trump receiving a prayer in the White House? Absolutely not. Do I have a problem with him receiving a prayer from evangelical Christian grifter lady Paula White? Yes, I have a problem with that.
And I believe that when you honor God on Passover, starting on April 12th at sundown through Good Friday on the 18th and concluding on Easter Sunday, you can receive these 7 supernatural blessings for you and your house. According to Exodus 23, God will assign an angel to you. He'll be an enemy to your enemies. He'll give you prosperity. He'll take sickness away from you. He will give you long life. He'll bring increase in inheritance, and he'll give a special year of blessing. You're not doing this to get something, but you're doing it in honor to God, realizing what you can receive.
For your special Passover offering of $1,000 or more as the Holy Spirit leads, you will also receive the beautiful 10-inch Waterford Crystal Cross. Don't miss your moment to release 7 supernatural blessings and provision into your life.
You can have salvation for the low, low price of $1,000. Yeah, bitch, I think not. She's an absolute grifter. Birds of a feather flock together. There's nothing Christian about Donald Trump. I call him a grifting president. Have you ever bought a Donald Trump watch or a Donald Trump pair of shoes or Donald Trump playing cards or a Donald Trump Bible or bought his cryptocurrency or bought one of his gigantic Trump flags in jest for a skit? He's using his presidential power to grift off of the American public. He preaches about American-made products while selling you merchandise that is made in China. That is why I call him a grifter. Not 'cause CNN told me he was. The promise I see him selling versus what he's actually selling.
I'm still waiting on that George Soros check though, by the way.
Exactly.
Waiting on it, hasn't come in the mail yet.
I have to say, I was loving the creativity with some of these signs.
Yay! Thank you.
You think I didn't bring a sign with me, but this is the only sign I need, baby. We call him Epstein's bestie because he refuses to release the Epstein files. He's been documented in several videos and photos with Epstein. He has said this about Epstein.
The president said this, quote, "I've known Jeff for 15 years. Terrific guy. He's a lot of fun to be with." It is even said that he likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side. No doubt about it. Jeffrey enjoys his social life.
You have to know Epstein pretty close to know that information. Why won't Donald Trump release the Epstein files? Why did Elon Musk, the person you trust with our social security information, why did Elon Musk say Donald Trump is in the Epstein files and that's why it hasn't been released? In an X post that he took down. And we call him Epstein's bestie because these are the words that came out of the mouth of Jeffrey Epstein himself.
A bunch of audio recordings that he had with the late Jeffrey Epstein inside.
So how do you know this?
That was close to straight. That was close to straight.
Declassify, you can answer yes or no to this.
Yeah.
Would you declassify the 9/11 files?
Yeah.
Would you declassify JFK files?
Yeah.
Would you,
I did a lot of it.
Would you declassify the Epstein files?
Yeah, I would.
All right.
I guess I would. I think that less so because, you don't know. You don't want to affect people's lives if it's phony stuff in there because there's a lot of phony stuff with that whole world. But I think I would, or at least
Do you think that would restore trust? Help restore trust?
Yeah, I don't know about Epstein so much as I do the others.
Okay, St. George. St. George is showing up today. This is probably like 7 times the size of the last one. I don't know.
I call him unconstitutional. Not because I decided that's what he was, but it's because our Supreme Courts, who are holding him accountable for his unconstitutional actions, and our governor of California, who's holding him accountable for his unconstitutional bringing in of not only the National Guard, but the Marines. People who are trained to kill, not to diffuse conflict, people who are trained to intimidate and kill. That's who he's bringing into California without the governor's or the mayor's consent or request. We call him a lying and cheating and stealing president. He was caught in 30,000 plus lies in his first presidency. The Haitians eating dogs, lie. The people over 300 years old receiving Social Security, lie. The transgender mice, also a lie. He lies on a daily basis and his administration lies on his behalf. Easily debunkable lies. We call him a cheater because he is one. He cheated on his wife right after Barron Trump was born with a porn star and then bought her silence and falsified business records in order to do so, therefore the 34 felonies. I call him stealing. Doge went in and fired tons of veterans, American workers, and then throws himself a multi-million-dollar birthday parade. This is not North Korea. This is not Russia. We do not throw military parades for our dear leader. We call him a narcissist because it's pretty blatantly obvious.
Nobody can do it like me. Nobody. Nobody can do it like me. Honestly.
Nobody's stronger than me.
Nobody has better toys than I do.
Nobody knows the system better than me.
Which is why I alone can fix it.
Everything Donald Trump does is in his own best interest and his own best interest only. Oh, those little baby Proud Boys, they were so cute. Oh my gosh. Oh my god, little baby Oath Keepers. Oh, so precious. So I have the best way to protest. You dress your hottest, and then you go flirt with all the little baby Proud Boys, and just be nice to them, and be like, hey boys. Hey boys. How's it going?
Great.
Good?
Yeah.
Awesome. Good to hear. Have a good day. Oh my gosh, you're so cute. That's all you have to do. Just give them a little winks, a little hip hop, little wink wink. I'm not above flirting with the Proud Boys. I'm not above it. Today's protest is proudly sponsored by Boob Sweat. Woo! It's hot out here. It's
Give a baby Proud Boy a hug day here in America. Just give them a hug, wrap them in your bosom, and just tell them it's going to be okay. They will not always be insecure with their manhood. It's going to be fine. I'm trying to catch up to a car. They had a sign that said, "Does this ass make my country look small?" Okay, it's great. Whoa, Donald Trump has got to go. Hey, hey. Whoa, Donald Trump has got to go. Well, we came, we swamp-assed, and we conquered. It's so hot out. I was kind of seeing mirages walking around, and this girl was like, "Would you like a free water?" I was like, "Yes, I would adore a free water." Oh, thank you. Woo! Woo, 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 woo! Baby KKK's over here at it again. And then a bunch of people surrounded them to block their Trump flags. What a day in America. See, we can all work together, right? We can. Fuck Donald Trump! Fuck Donald Trump! And that's togetherness. They're out here protesting together. That's beautiful. Hey, hey! Whoa, whoa! Donald Trump has got to go. Hey guys, I wrote a new song. It goes like this. Save a whore, hug a proud boy. Okay, I stopped at Maverick to get some hydration. So no Kings protest. I actually didn't mind seeing the Trump boys holding their flag. That's why we're there, because we want our Constitution to be respected. We want to have the right to voice our opinions, and that's why I went today. I did kind of hover around them a little bit because some people were screaming at them and yelling like bad words and stuff at them and calling them Nazis and stuff. I'm like, no, they have just as much right to stand here as we do. They're trying to get a rise out of you. Don't let them. There was one girl there who, I think she was born in America, but she's like Mexican looking. She speaks Spanish and she was beautiful. She had a really cute shirt on and I was like, oh, I love your shirt. You're so pretty. And then she was like, yeah, thank you for coming. She said she's afraid to speak Spanish to her daughter around here because she doesn't want to be targeted. I'm like, that is so fucked up. That should not be happening. And that's why we're protesting too, because ICE is not picking up the worst of the worst criminals. They're picking up our workers in strawberry fields at Home Depot. People who work really hard and pay into our tax system. They pay into Social Security and will never get a cent of that back. They're picking up pregnant ladies. They're taking high schoolers. They're showing up at schools. They're just trying to meet a quota. They're trying to meet a number. They're not actually trying to get the criminals. They should get any criminals in the proper facilities. Of course, immigrant criminals, American criminals, they should all be prosecuted and put through the judicial system. It feels good to go today and stand up for what I believe in, and I support other people standing up for what they believe in. I think most Trump supporters would say they don't stand up for fascism. Some of them do though, and I'm not about that. I want my rights. No kings, that's what it's about. If you made it this far in the video, write no kings down in the comments below. It's fascinating to me that voicing my opinion on this topic has led a lot of my viewers to unsubscribe, which I'm totally okay with. That is totally their right. But it baffles my mind how people are so willing to defend and stand by a felon con artist sex offender, but will not subscribe to someone talking about how that person is a felon con man sex offender. Those are the facts of who Donald Trump is. And if you need to support that type of person instead of me, if you can't call his behavior hateful, but you have to call me hateful for talking about his behavior, I'm more than happy for you to leave my channel and leave my orbit. They can leave my channel, but I marched yesterday not only for my rights, but for their right as well. Their right to voice their opinion on my channel. Their right to leave my channel if they want to. Their right to disagree with me on this topic. I'm not gonna stay quiet, and I encourage you to speak up and use all your beautiful gifts, things that are personal to you, to protest in your own way. It can be scary. I was scared to post the first couple times, but this is so important. So thank you to all of you who protested yesterday. The numbers are in, and there were over 11 million people who protested in the No Kings protest yesterday. I'm so proud of America for standing up. I'm so proud of you, especially those of you in red states where it's so hard to speak up and stand your ground. We needed every single person to show up yesterday, and we did it. So let's keep speaking out. Let's keep standing up for what's right. Let's keep uniting and peacefully protesting. And let's keep on hugging baby Proud Boys because they need lots of motherly love right now. And one more point, I don't see MAGA in the same category as Republican. I feel like those are two separate groups. This is not Republican versus Democrat in society right now. This is we the people versus a king. We are standing up for our beautiful country, the country our founding fathers fought so hard for. And I'm so proud of my Livingston, Montana people. They showed up. There were like 700 people in my tiny, tiny little town of Livingston, Montana. I don't know what was in the water when I was growing up, but there are so many people in my high school group, in my friend group who are standing up for America. I'm just so happy to see it. So, Democrats and Republicans alike, let's stand up for our country. Let's stand up for our rights and our freedoms. And let's keep calling this predatory, Putin-loving, Nazi-hugging, white supremacist pardoning, 34-felon sex offender, Epstein bestie, fake Christian grifting, unconstitutional, lying, cheating, stealing, narcissist, transphobic, conman, sociopath, insurrectionist, dictator, president, what he is. That's not hate, that's who he is. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you loved it, share it with your friends. We'll see you tomorrow.